Hey, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and we are in Milwaukee for Harley Davidson's Homecoming. In this video, I am going to show you some of the things we are doing that you can expect to do or should do if you come to Harley Davidson's Homecoming event in Milwaukee. Now, one of the first things is the Harley Davidson Museum. That's where they have a kickoff party on Thursday night. So there's a bike show, there's a concert. Buck Cherry was playing this year. They gave away a bike. Jesse James Dupree does the whole Rolling USA giveaway deal. So last night they gave away a CBO ST Road Glide. Yeah, baby. Some lucky guy got one. It was very cool. But lots of great stuff going on. There's some Beachwind Visionaries, got some display stuff going on. Some custom built bikes are there. Of course, there's the museum. There's a Harley Davidson factory outlet where people were buying gloves for $8 and jackets for $40. So that's just one of the things you can do. That's where they kick off the night. But this morning, we're headed over to the Product Development Center. We're going to check out some cool stuff there. And then we're going to show you some more things you can do here at Homecoming. Getting to take a ride over to the PCD with a bunch of other content creators was kind of a big deal to me. I mean, some of these people I have been inspired to do YouTube videos or got into YouTube because of. I've been following Ryan Cruzy for a long time, and I'm a big fan. I got to meet the boys from Thrash and Supply, and that was really cool as well. The ride over to the PDC wasn't long, but it was a good ride. Meeting new people who make content was a really cool experience for me, but it was also nice to get to visit with some of the people I've met in the past, like Tiffany Renee and Traveling Tall. One of the things you should definitely do when you're at Harley Davidson's Homecoming is take a tour, kind of like what we did at the PDC. But the PDC is different. It's not open to the public, and this is like the second time they've let people film in it. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the PDC because there was so much to give you there. I don't want to build that into this video and take away from the Homecoming experience. But while you're at Homecoming, you can do tours of other facilities like the powertrain operations. And that's definitely something we want to do the next time we come to Harley Davidson's Homecoming event. Concerts and the Friday afternoon meet and greet is definitely something I would recommend you do if you're into YouTube content, which if you're watching this video, you probably are. There were a lot of different great content creators there this year. Marble Kid, Two Lane Life, Cycle Fanatics, some guy from the Ozarks, lots of cool people. Again, some of them I've met before, and a lot of them I have not met before. So it was a great experience. The concert for Friday night this year did get canceled. It was Hank Williams Jr., which I've luckily seen before back in his younger days. But they had a big tornado watch, and weather looked like it was going to blow in. So for the safety of everyone else, they did cancel that concert this year. But Saturday night, the concerts went off without a hitch. All right, it is Saturday, our final full day here at Milwaukee's Homecoming event. This morning, we're going to go over to the headquarters and get a tour, which they do offer tours, but this one's going to be pretty special because we're going to do the tour with Bill Davidson. Yes, the grandson of the founders of Harley Davidson, Willie G's son. This is going to be very cool, very special for us. So we'll go do that. And I think we're going to head over to the museum, check that out and stuff. So it's going to be a pretty cool morning. Then, of course, we have some time over at Veterans Park this afternoon. Chris Stapleton plays tonight. The weather didn't turn out so well for us last night, and they had to cancel Hank. They had a big tornado warning and stuff. But I think we're going to be okay tonight. So I'm staying here at the Hilton Doubletree, just a couple blocks from the museum. A lot of people are here. You can see the garage is full of bikes and stuff. So we're going to get ready and head over to the headquarters and check that out. Yesterday was still a very cool day, even though the concert was canceled, with the tour of the Product Development Center and then hanging out with a bunch of content creators. Some of them I've gotten to know over the last few years and stuff. So it was like a big family reunion. That's one of the cool things about events, getting to see people at this event that you only see at events that live in the other parts of the country and stuff, and we all come together like this. So really cool stuff. Taking a tour of the Harley Davidson headquarters was an amazing experience. Probably because Bill Davidson was involved in the tour, along with another gentleman. Bill shared many great stories about playing in the factory when he was a child, telling us stories about his father and his great-grandfather. It made the tour extremely special. The headquarters is hallowed ground. Just across the street is where it all started, 122 years ago. This was an amazing experience, and I really appreciate Harley Davidson getting me into a tour with Bill Davidson. It was kind of neat to walk the skywalk that you see all of the pictures taken that runs between the two buildings, getting to see the water tower on top of the factory, and hearing about the significance of it and how it made a difference in the manufacturing of our motorcycles. I don't know if you can take a tour of the headquarters year-round, but I do know they had tours available to the public during homecoming, and I highly recommend you do it. It was a very unique experience, and I definitely think it is worth your time to walk through this facility and see the history of this brand and this iconic motorcycle company. All right, guys, we just finished the tour here at the Harley Davidson headquarters, led by Bill Davidson. Told some amazing stories about his father and his mother and his experiences here with Harley Davidson. I highly recommend you take this tour if you ever get the opportunity. It's very, very cool. The new Davidson Park, Harley Davidson Park here is also pretty cool looking and stuff. They had a women's ride take off out of here earlier. I got some shots of that. That was really cool. We didn't know they did that. So maybe next time we come, Firecracker will want to do the women's ride. So if we get female riders out there following the channel, maybe that's something you're into. Make sure you look for that, look for some information on that and get involved in it. We're gonna head over to the museum. Navigating the streets of Milwaukee was not as bad as I expected compared to some of the other major metropolitan cities I've ridden through. Actually, it was pretty cool, and I kind of liked the way things were laid out. It was really easy to get to everything from where we stayed near the museum. All right, we are at the Harley Davidson Museum. Music's blasting, people everywhere, bikes rolling in. We're gonna try and get us some grub and then check out this museum. I have heard that this is one of the most best exhibits. You can't miss this. When we did the tour with Bill Davidson this morning, he was telling us that the paper bag that the Sturgis model was sketched out on is here in the museum. Lots of cool stuff. Can't wait to see it. Highly recommend you don't miss this thing if you come to Milwaukee. Another thing you can do at Harley Davidson Homecoming that I really dig are the bike shows. V-Twin Visionary recently put on a bike show in the Ozarks in Joplin called East Meets West. And they were at Harley Davidson Homecoming doing another bike show. And there was also a ride-in bike show. It was really cool. I ran into Kyle from Forever Rad, who's based out of St. Louis. I met him before, and he had a bike in the show, and he took a trophy home. So congratulations, Kyle. Way to represent Missouri. There were some really amazing bikes in the ride-in bike show as well. So congratulations to all those people on those builds. There were some beautiful bikes out there. The other thing we did, and you can do too, is take a tour of the Harley Davidson Museum. Now, this isn't just something that's available during Harley Davidson's homecoming event. Make sure you check their website for hours of operations. I don't know if they're open throughout the entire year, but I do know you can come outside of the event and take a tour of this facility, and it is truly a walk through the history of Harley Davidson. There's hundreds of bikes representing different eras of Harley Davidson's history. It was probably close to one of my favorite things on the trip besides the PDC tour. We are already planning a trip back to bring our friends so they can experience and tour the Harley Davidson Museum. There were things there from like early model motorcycles to the first motorcycle catalog they ever produced. Motorcycles produced for the military that were not sold as consumer products to consumers on the street. They had a huge exhibit of motorcycle tanks, motorcycles that had been signed by employees that represented maybe the last model rolling off of a line out of a particular style or something like that. They had bikes that were project bikes like the Nova Project. There was some amazing stuff to see if you're a fan of the brand and its history. And even if you're not a fan of the brand, you should appreciate Harley Davidson and what they've done for the motorcycle community. Just imagine if Harley Davidson had not survived the AMF area and came back so strong, would Polaris have ever considered buying the Indian name and bringing that back? Would Polaris have ever created Victory? Or would the metric companies like Kawasaki and Honda completely own the industry in the United States? So even if you don't ride a Harley Davidson, you should appreciate the competition and what they bring to the motorcycle industry. It's good for all of us consumers. When we got done with the Harley Davidson tour, we headed over to Veterans Park for the concert and hang out with some other people who were there as content creators and Harley Davidson folks. That was a big deal. We also got to see Jason Momoa play music with his son on one of the smaller stages before Chris Stapleton went on. That was a great time as well. It was really cool to see him being a father and doing something like that with his son. When we headed out of Veterans Park, we headed over to Brady Street. I heard Brady Street was kicking. So after the sun went down, we got down to Brady Street, and there were bikes lining up and down the street for blocks. They do have it blocked off from car traffic, and it was a really cool scene. There was DJs on the sidewalk. There was vendors selling alcohol and food. You could walk up and down the street for several blocks and enjoy the party. And the local PD was being very cool. People were doing burnouts. People were having a good time, but nobody was getting harassed by local law enforcement. It's definitely something I hope Daytona takes note of. Definitely a much better vibe hanging out on Brady Street than it is at Daytona, where law enforcement is very, very strict about revving your motor or playing your stereo too loud. You felt very welcome to come down to Brady Street, hang out, and have a good time. It was a cool scene, and we'll definitely be back. One of the other things we did not get to do a lot of is visit the other dealerships. I did visit House of Harley, ran into a few people there that know me from the channel and stuff, and that was awesome. But there are several dealerships in the Milwaukee area that you can go to that are putting on activities and music and stuff like that, having vendors. So I definitely recommend you check that out. If you're a Hog member, you can get points by checking in at these locations and stuff on the app. That's something that I know a lot of you guys who do Hog are into. So I highly recommend you do some of that. It's something we want to do more of next time we come to Milwaukee. All right, it's about 6:15 a.m. We were going to be on the road by now. We're leaving here Sunday morning from Milwaukee. That is our motel behind us. Stayed at the Hilton down here just a few blocks from Harley Davidson. Really nice place. It was really nice to be able to walk down to the events and stuff and walk back if we wanted to drink. People were taking Ubers. It's worked out really well down here. But I want to say that we had a great time at Veterans Park yesterday. Did a tour of the Harley Davidson Museum yesterday. Definitely got to do that if you come up here. It's amazing. And then we went down and we checked out Brady Street last night. Yeah, that thing was off the hook. People were doing burnouts. It was a big party, and the cops were being really chill, walking down the street, but not harassing people. I didn't see no tickets being given out. I didn't see anybody doing anything too wild and crazy besides just having a good time, doing what bikers do and stuff. So it was a really cool atmosphere. Definitely recommend you check out Brady Street. They closed the street down to just motorcycles for several blocks, and it was a good time. And speaking of good times, one of my favorite things about these kinds of events is meeting people that watch the channel. I had a few people come up. They seemed a little reluctant. They didn't want to bother me. Absolutely come up and say hi if you see me at an event. That's part of why I come to this, is to get to meet the people, to support the channel, to watch the content. It helps my soul to have someone come up and say, hey, I really enjoy what you do. I appreciate it. So if you feel that way, you're not bothering me. Come say hi. We love it. I got some pictures of some people. We got folks here in Milwaukee that recognize us. We got people from Katy, Texas, which is down by Houston, came all the way up here for homecoming that watched the channel and stuff. So that was really awesome. And y'all, we're gonna go crush some miles. We got 600 miles to get home today. And there's some rain back home this afternoon, so we're gonna try and stay north. We're gonna breeze through Iowa and cut south, and maybe we can get down behind that rain. Y'all stay safe, keep on riding. I hope to see you at Harley Davidson's homecoming event next year, or maybe Sturgis this year, Bike Fest at Lake of the Ozarks, or BBB. We might even make Born Free Texas. We're still trying to get all that figured out, but we still got plenty of events this year you can catch us at. Y'all stay safe. Keep on riding. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. If you've been here before, thanks for being a repeat offender. If you're new here, I hope you dig the content. See you in the next one.